Oh, yo, what is good, my Quick Crypto family and my Coin Factory family? Welcome back again to our daily Casper Crypto Lives. Although it's not been daily very much recently because I was traveling back from Scotland. I'm back. I'm back now, and I'm back in London, and I'm ready now to get on to the sources and news for today. We have a lot of very interesting developments right now. We're seeing, as I've just started streaming, the markets are looking like they're pulling back right now, which was not the case earlier on. I cannot for the life of me right now determine what's causing this pullback, but we have seen some very interesting developments as of right now. And one of the big developments at least comes from Kaspa, where we have confirmation from Wolfie and from Johnny about big listings. Some that are inevitable and some that are on the way, which is very exciting news. So, welcome back again to the channel. Sorry if I seem a little bit flustered right now. I'm having to deal with some finance issues, and everyone knows how jarring it can be to try and track money. So that just happened out of the blue. But either way, I'll get back into the flow of things, I'm sure. And we'll get into the crypto and Casper content very, very swiftly. We've got a lot of important macro news to cover, which I have seen. Also, DD highlights something as well, which is also very comedic and interesting as well. We've got other important posts out here from Dr. Martin Hyperwreck, and equally a lot of Casper sources here as well. So as always, now that we're back home, and now I can even showcase the comments. You get the benefits of that now. If you enjoy this content, leave a like, share with your friends, and subscribe for more. Welcome back, DD Bro, and hope you're doing very, very well today. Trump is taking a break until July 9th on EU tariffs. Yes, I did see that. I did not preload the post, which is an error on my behalf, but I did see that, yes, Trump announced on the Friday, when we saw Bitcoin on Friday go through that massive correction. I say massive correction. You saw Bitcoin go from its all-time high about, $112,000, came down 5% or so, 4.5%, down to 107k. That was off the back of Trump announcing tariffs going to be implemented on EU, and seemingly he's halted that now, which, who knows what's going on in that man's head? Let's be serious. Who knows what's going on in his head right now? Because nobody does. But either way, he paused it, and we saw the markets, recover as a result. They're now coming back a little bit right now, which, if I'm to hazard a guess, it's probably because of the instability in the market regarding the lack of economic stability, regarding the bonds that are rallying up higher and higher, lack of purchasing the bonds. So basically on-risk assets, crypto, equities, those sort of stuff, they're just not as desirable right now. I'm not worried. I don't think anybody has a reason to be worried right now, and I will get into all of those reasons why I come back full circle. But of course, we'll get into the content. We'll get into the title of this stream very abruptly, because I know people are very eager to hear what it's about. Welcome back, Dimitar, bro. You're doing very, very well. Thank you very much, my man. It was a great holiday, so I am very happy. But it was a great holiday, much needed. I say it's a break. I didn't really have. I did have a bit of a break, I guess. Much needed time away, and I'm very looking forward to getting back into the content again. What's up, Joseph, bro? New listings incoming. Which important one did I miss recently? Well, it was just announced, leaked in a sense from Johnny, and equally Wolfie made a very interesting confirmation regarding two major tier ones that are ready to list Casper. They're just not doing it right now because it's inconvenient for them to do so. It's not optimal for them to do so, but they are ready, which is huge news. Welcome back, LOP. Casper listing when? Timeline, unfortunately, is still yet to be determined, which is, therefore pretty much a rumor. But it's people who are working alongside, I won't say working for Casper, because again, Casper's fair launch, but they are inside teams who are working in the central part of Casper, if you will, who are confirming that big listings are coming. Even in DC, bro, hope you're doing very, very well. Casper price got stagnant again. Yes, all of crypto, Casper included, has gone a bit stagnant right now. And we'll get into the full reasons as for why in a second. That being said, let's get into the content to start off with. So to start off with, we go into this post here from Casper's report, which builds on what DC was saying just a second ago, which is the price has gone a bit stagnant. Casper's daily active supply reaches all-time lows. This indicates that only a record low percentage is circulating Kaspa is active on daily on-chain market activity. Meanwhile, withdrawals from centralized exchanges continue unabated, driving their reserves lower. Any uptick in bullish sentiment would likely trigger a supply shock that, when paired with short position liquidations, could send Kaspa's price sharply higher. So unfortunately, those who are betting against Kaspa, it will continually face supply shocks when its stock-to-flow ratio doubling each year. Kaspa's fiat price is therefore poised to surge to all new time highs, especially as mounting liquidity issues in the financial system force central banks to revert to aggressive monetary easing. Now, right now, we're seeing more so QT than QE based on the bonds. Right now, the Fed are trying to, get that situation under control. But either way, we will eventually start seeing an easing on monetary policies once the financial system's been kept reined in and under control once again. But again, this short summary post here for me is once more an indicator of where we are with Kaspa. While we are seeing a lack of supply, a lack of activity, even right now we can see the volumes come down significantly right now at 53 million. Again, so it's a bit frustrating once more to see the volume so far down once again for Kaspa, but equally the mining of Kaspa doesn't stop. It's still going on and the supply keeps coming out, so we are going to in due time see a supply shock as well. And I'm not remotely worried about where Kaspa's going to go right here. It is only a matter of time. And we have posts like this from Moral Balance and Responsible Christian Lubbock here as well, who still wholeheartedly believe the Kaspa's going to reach $5 a cycle. Let me know what you think down in the comments. I am no longer doing pub predictions, as you know, on these channels. I'm highlighting this just purely for a sentiment from other people. $5 would be $127, $128 billion market cap, give or take. Actually, probably be $130 billion market cap. So could Kaspa reach that in the cycle? I mean, it seems unlikely, but when you're looking at these TA parts, there's parallel monthly chart here says it can do. Considering the level of adoption we're going to see in crypto, it maybe can do as well. Again, all welcome to debate down in the comments whether Kaspa could reach that sort of price target. There are some who believe it's still possible, some who believe it's unlikely. But one thing for me that will be a critical factor that will allow Kaspa to rally higher than expected again is these incoming listings. So we've got this first post here with Titan here, Crypto Titan high stating here, not going to lie, I understand Kaspa is probably the greatest breakthrough in blockchain tech since the creation of Bitcoin, but I'm pretty annoyed by how exchanges, tier ones, are constantly ignoring it. They got so used to being paid for listings that it's stupid now. And it is true, that's a big reason why we've not been seeing listing for Kaspa, is because they are the big tier ones, they are so used to being paid to list a project that now they're having to list it, they have to build up the accumulation themselves, but list it when they are ready. So that's that's the main reason why I'm not seeing a big listing right now. And Captain Sats highlights here, but Wolfie, aka Kaspa Hype Man, or may have been Nicholas from Cas Media, said that listing fee isn't the problem for Binance, I think, or did I dream that? And Wolfie responded to this saying, it is not the problem anymore. So back, you should think way back, which I haven't uploaded the post, but you think way back to what I've mentioned in the past, November 10th, 2024, we heard an AMA with the KEF. And in this AMA, this Twitter Space AMA, they confirmed that Kraken listing was coming out. And they also confirmed that these big tier ones, they had a problem with the price of Kaspa and, regarding listing fees and whatnot. And they also wanted to see high volume. Now, Wolfie's confirmed here, just 4 hours ago, that the problem or, issue behind, having enough, paying for a listing, if you will, is no longer an issue right now. It's not a problem anymore as we completed integration on 2 tier 1s over a year ago. It simply doesn't match their business strategy to enable spot trading yet. OKX and Binance, correct Amondo. So, Wolfie's confirmed here, which we have for the most part. We knew this much at least for Binance. I had no idea, I had no confirmation with OKX. I had theorized OKX, but I had no confirmation. But we have already known Binance had integrated Kaspa and has been like that for a while. We got confirmation here from Wolfie as well that equally OKX, so both OKX and Binance have already integrated Kaspa onto their platforms. So they are by all means prepared to list Kaspa as quick as that, a snap of the finger. They are ready to do so, but it just doesn't match their business strategy to enable spot trading for Kaspa just yet. And ultimately what that means is the market right now for Kaspa is not in that particular sweet spot, if you will, where we would just see Kaspa rally up higher and higher. Because again, once more, these tier ones had to accumulate Kaspa off their own behind, off their own back. They didn't get, not like Turbo or Sui or any of these other crypto projects effectively that would have paid Binance and these other exchanges to list Kaspa. The whole premise behind that is if you're an exchange, your business, and you're paid to list something, you've been paid money anyways. You do not care if it makes you more money or not. I mean, of course, you've got to make sure it's compliant with policies and regulations so it doesn't end up completely ruining your reputation. But you do not care. You've been paid already, so any extra money it makes on the platform is an added bonus. But with Kaspa, they didn't pay them for a listing. So therefore, there's a higher risk to reward. They've not been given any money to list Kaspa. Therefore, when they list Kaspa, they would desperately want and effectively need the assets, the value of Kaspa to rally up a lot higher, so they can end up making good off their investments. So therefore, we could theorize that Wallet 2, if we go to Kaspalytics, which I'll load up right now, we go to Kaspalytics and we look at Wallet 2, which is the speculative Binance wallet here. This has been buying since March 2024, buying continuously since then. So while again it's still speculation, we can now say with quite a lot of conviction, if you will, a lot of good speculation, if you will, logical speculation I like to highlight at least, that Wallet 2 most likely is Binance or OKX, but it's one of the two because they both have got Kaspa available already. They integrated them, they just haven't listed a spot trading yet. But their business strategy will likely change this cycle when the market makes that significant breakout. Alts rally, Kaspa starts breaking above as well. Again, Wallet 2, that averages around 13 cents, so maybe when it goes above 13 cents, Wallet 2's net will be net positive in Kaspa. That might be the shift in their strategy needed to therefore list Kaspa as well. Because you've got to understand as well, we've seen it continuously, right? Every single project that's been listed on Binance or any major exchange is a buy the rumor, sell the news. This is what happens. Binance will list Kaspa or any project, it'll go up, the listing happens, and it'll come down. Typically down quite a lot. So what Binance and OKX and these exchanges want to do if they are buying Kaspa themselves, as they are buying Kaspa themselves, they want Kaspa to rally up, list it, it goes up even higher, and then when it comes down, they're still already up on it, and then because there's so much bullish momentum anyways, it won't come down too much, it'll continue going up. They don't want to go down on Kaspa. It'd be a bad business decision for them to do so. So that's a big confirmation there from Wolfie. Again, I already knew Binance. I think we all did. But hearing it from OKX as well is also, it was highly speculated, but now confirmation here from Wolfie that they are ready. It's just whenever they are actually going to shift their strategy to enable Kaspa spot trading, which is good to hear, all in all. I still wholeheartedly believe, therefore, that these will come out this cycle, no doubt. I'd like to believe in the next few months, potentially following smart contract. We've got some updates about that in this stream as well. But that's not all. That's tier ones. We do also have a post here from Johnny as well. So we got here from Mo, whatever happened to the new market maker for Kaspa? Does this magic entity exist? Captain Sats again, he's been quite a, shout out to Captain Sats. I don't think he's like a, ingrained like insider for Kaspa per se, but he is very active on Twitter, and because he's so active, he does get responses from these, the kind of insider members, Johnny and Wolfie and that. And so again, 2 times now, he's been able to basically reach out and get a good answer for us here. And we've got here maybe a question for Johnny, and Johnny said the question, the short answer is yes, the market maker does exist, and it is now preparing for listings of new Kaspa trading pairs on some regulated exchanges, which is big news. So exactly what they are, we don't know. Exactly when they'll come out, equally, we don't know. But that is 2 confirmations from quote-unquote insiders. Again, I've got to be very careful how I label that, because while they are the kind of insider members working alongside Kaspa, but Kaspa is a fair launch open source project, so I don't want to make it sound like they are CEOs or any of that sort of regard. But they are in the inner circles, if you will, in helping Kaspa's adoption expand. Wolfie is self-proclaimed head of listing, but it's again fair launch project, so he's not actually the head of listing. It's open source, but he is self-proclaimed because he's the main man that people go to for it. to make things easier. And then Johnny, he is the executive vice president of the KEF, which is an initiative who is working with Kaspa as well. But either way, we've got then two confirmations here that Binance and OKX are ready. They just need to flip the switch, basically. And equally, the new market maker, which I think is DWF Labs they're referring to. There could be other ones as well. I mean, KF did announce a few of them. They are, working, and they've widely been quite, incognito, if you will. They are apparently now preparing for listings for new capital trading pairs on some regulated exchanges, which is big because ultimately regulations is... Being on exchanges is all well and good, but being on regulated exchanges is extremely important. Especially in the world we're going into right now where regulations matter so heavily. We're going from a kind of an outlaw crypto financial market into a regulated one, which will allow institutions to get involved as well. So that's a very big deal. When we'll see them again, I don't know. Right now, my 2 cents is still back on what the KEF AMA stated back in November, which is 7 months back now, which is we need to see high volume on Kaspa. That will incentivize, more bullish momentum, more reason to list. So likelihood we're going to see, hopefully, the crypto, the next leg up, hopefully soon. But again, we'll have to wait and see how because right now we're still heavily having to, rely on the macro right now. For example, I believe on the 30th of May is the PCE data, and the PCE data states that that will be a very, very critical indicator that will allow us to determine how Jerome Powell and the Fed will act in regard to easing or tightening monetary policies. So right now, I suspect we might see again a bit of stagnation for a little bit, a bit of boringness, which, boring's not bad. Boring's not bad at all. Sometimes I think boring is best. We've had a very, very volatile and very busy crypto market for some time. Go away. So it's quite nice to see a bit of just a lull period where you can just, count your chickens, bide your time, take a breather before we end up going through an explosive volcano-like rally. Everything has been going higher and higher. So we've got OKX and Binance on the horizon seemingly, or they're confirmed and they'll list when they're ready. And we even got the market makers preparing for some regulated exchanges listing Kaspa as well, which is also big news that are likely caused by the rumors on the news type thing, but it's good news all in all. And that could potentially coincide to the predictions that some are making about a $5 Kaspa. And again, I'm not saying it's possible. I'm not saying it's impossible. I no longer do my predictions. It would put out $130 billion market cap. It's not too excessive in the grand scheme of things. Solana reached 80, Cardano reached 96, and that's when the markets were smaller. Less competition as well, but the markets were smaller. And now you're having institutional adoption coming into crypto. You've got the KII getting involved as well. You've got Kaspa with the potential to become the infrastructure for the entire blockchain space. All of that, again, I'll get through in this stream. Things for me, and the one thing I do say repeatedly is that I do think because of how negative and how lackluster Kaspa's price has been for the past 8, 9, 10 months, people become very, very bearish on Kaspa. And they've now got very conservative price prediction, which again is fair enough. Again, you do your own research, trade your discretion. I just have a more optimistic outlook on Kaspa. I think Kaspa can shock people. That's how I stand with Kaspa right now. We've got a lot more sources to cover in this stream as well. I mean, the tier 1 listings again, and the listings coming through are big. We've really got some updates here regarding smart contracts, KEF stuff, and equally a lot more I'll get into in a moment. So before I do, I'll get into some of the questions real quickly though. MT, Bitcoin, big shorts incoming. Careful, don't get trapped. Top and sell short, multiple profit. We are selling millions. Dump, start, something target. I mean, I have seeing people trying to short, and there's currently it's Bitcoin right now is balancing on this dynamic right now, on this level. All-time high back in January was 109k. Bitcoin is trading around that, and there seems to be sentiment from both sides of things on whether they want Bitcoin to go, whether it go up or down. For me, again, we have to pay very close attention to the macro. The macro will mean a lot more in regards to where we're going to be going very, very soon. Kaspa is at a critical support level. Yes, it is right now. Kaspa being at just above 10 cents, 10.4 cents. Yeah, so it's a very critical level of support. Technically speaking, you could argue this is forming lower lows, but I think these are actually quite similar, so you wouldn't argue that so much. Kaspa could very well be doing, as I mentioned on Saturday or Friday stream. Could very well be doing this ABC correction path. Coming down to support, you'll probably find around maybe 9.5 cents down here, and then you'll see the push back up again. Go away. Again, as you draw other elements like fib retracement here, you can see that these do seem to be levels of support for Kaspa. But equally, go on to a longer time frame, you can see Kaspa therefore come down to maybe 9.1 as well, which I think is not a bad zone for Kaspa. If you stay above 9.1, I think that'd be a very, very good thing for Kaspa, and equally still showcasing that we're in a bullish trend, uptrend for Kaspa as well. As Cokeman highlights here, yes, if you enjoy these streams, be doing these streams pretty much every single day as much as I can do, then leave a like, share with your friends, and subscribe for more. Welcome back, Falcon, my man. Hope you're doing very, very well. Welcome back, Bet You too, brother. I believe these tier 1 listings exchanges have all got together for a strategy on when to list Kaspa in the perfect moment to pump it as far as they can to make sure they make max profits. And you know what? I care to agree. The reason why is whether they've come together privately or not, if you think about it in a logical sense, when Binance lists Kaspa, that's going to drive a lot of FOMO. Of course, it's going to. It might be by the rumor, sell the news, but it's going to drive a lot of FOMO, and they're going to try and do it at optimal time anyways. Knowing the significant impact and influence that Binance has on a price of a project, and equally one like Kaspa, which is going to be innovative in itself, with smart contracts coming up very soon, whether they've agreed together to list at the same time or not, OKX and Crypto.com and many other exchanges are likely going to list very quickly afterwards to send it higher, because they don't want to miss out on, again, having Kaspa trading on their platform when it's cheap and likely going to keep running up higher and higher, so they can end up making more money. So whether they've agreed privately or not, I think it's a logical theory to have that these tier 1s will likely come together in a sense and kind of all cluster list Kaspa. You'll see Binance, you'll see OKX as confirmed here from Wolfie. You'll probably see Crypto.com, who've also got a landing page, a how to buy Kaspa page on their website. You'll probably see Coinbase, but Coinbase and Notoriously are very, very late, so I wouldn't hold my breath on them. Maybe Robinhood as well. You know, regulated exchanges highlighted here. Maybe Robinhood's going to get involved. Gemini, equally circulating about as well. You've got multiple exchanges. I've seen Johnny also mention, trying to reach out to Huobi, which is a relatively big exchange as well. We're going to check out here. Yeah, Huobi down. Where's Huobi? Am I blind? Well, Upbit also is one that we haven't got listed on, because you can use Upbit as well. Where's Huobi? Where's that? Okay, well, I can't find it right now. Never mind. Well, Huobi Global is also another one that. Oh, it's HTX. Sorry, there it is. HTX. Yeah, HTX. That's also another one that I think Johnny's been talking about as well. Which, while sitting at number 13, you're looking at 2.8 billion 24-hour trading volume and equally 4.5 million weekly visits. It's one of the bigger exchanges for trading as well. It's similar size to MEXC, and your one MEXC just screw Kaspa over. They are a very widely used exchange. What's up, QAAT? Recent prices boring, seems about to move up or down. I mean, yeah, it does seem very boring right now. Of course, markets are looking very, very good. Then Trump decided to do the funny thing and announce tariffs on Europe, which caused a pullback. And then he announced he's going to pause them, which caused a relief. And now it's seeing a pullback again a little bit, which, sucks. Right now we're seeing alts not doing particularly well. It's kind of slowing down right now, which actually I'll get into that right now as well. What is happening right now? Do you not see messages disappearing? Maybe there's something you're typing out. Let me check in, because let me quickly go to is there something that I put on YouTube Studio that might remove your messages? Because I'm having to Mr. Miles as well, trying to deter these scammers. I end up choosing words that probably are not good for me to put in. That's all scam stuff. That's fine. Telegram. If you're typing stuff about Telegram, yeah, I'm sorry. Telegram's not allowed in this place anymore. I don't use Telegram anyways. So you talk about Telegram, I don't have that in. I'll remove that maybe. If anyone's trying, to be fair, I have. Okay, I can probably remove that. Okay, I did have the word OKX banned in my thing as well, because there was a massive scandal going about connecting your OKX seed wallet. So I just banned OKX as well, but I'll remove that as well. That should hopefully fix any messages if that's what people are trying to talk about. Apologies for that. I'm, just trying to make life easier for me as well. Twitter. Oh, well, I don't know why Twitter wasn't working. I'm not entirely sure what's happening there. What's up, Riley? What's up, brother? I found the stream where Jay gave a prediction. I mean, it's out there. Again, my predictions haven't really changed. I just refuse to mention them anymore because, again, I think while my predictions are, something that people tend to use to help devise their own trading strategies, I don't want to end up, I want everyone to, understand why I make my price predictions when I did do them. And then I went through the whole thing. When Kaspa was doing really, really badly as well, I was like, people are so worried about price and they're forgetting about what Kaspa actually is as a project. And that's the reason why we're holding Kaspa, because this price is going to do well because of the project it is. So I thought, you know what? Let's not talk about price now. Talk about Dom, bro. You're doing very, very well, brother. And you too, LB Crypto. Kaspa is faster than Hyperliquid, faster in the space. Yo, by the way. Indeed. Hyperliquid has done very, very well recently. I saw it. I think it's surpassed Sui. Yeah, it just flipped Sui earlier today, I think, or yesterday as well. So Hyperliquid is going through a tear right now. I mean, again, it's very fast. It's going to do well the cycle. I've been saying that for a bit now. But end of the day, it is another proof of stake, and it is also centralized, so it's also an element of risk to it as well. Yeah, I also agree, more than certain, definitely. Check Discord messages. I'll check that right now. Okay, interesting. I don't know why. Which one am I looking at? Tell me which one I'm looking at, and I'll click on it. But I don't know why it's not loud either. But yeah, I mean, welcome back, Mr. Marv, brother. Hope you've been doing very, very well today. And you too, Art Zero, bro. When Moon, hopefully soon indeed. We've got a little bit to wait, and I still think we've got maybe another few weeks left. I mean, we've got some big things coming out soon. Definitely. Again, tier 1 listings and listings in general seem to be closer and closer. We also got some smart contract updates as well. I'm just quickly seeing what Cryptony wanted me to search on Twitter, which is this name here. I'm not sure exactly which person I want to click on right now though, so I'm just holding off for a quick moment before we get into more of the content. But yeah, I mean, again, right now the markets are, you're seeing a bit of a pullback, but again, the sources are still showcasing a lot of very okay, that one. Okay, thank you very much, brother. Right here. Interesting. I don't particularly know what I'm looking at right now, truth be told, brother, because if it's regarding what you've messaged me, I haven't had the liberty to look through that just yet. I believe it is, yeah. I believe it is what you're mentioning to me. In that case, then yeah, I mean, I'll give it a follow, definitely. I'm looking through it definitely in a moment as well. Yeah, I'm going to be going through what you sent me later today / tomorrow. It's been one hell of a day getting back from Scotland last night. I got back at 1 a.m. and I've been literally 5 hours sleep, got up and just went through my whole routine of working today. So I've been very, very preoccupied even now. And I even had to do my my executive live with my VIPs. I did my live today with my VIPs because I couldn't do it yesterday because I was traveling. Normally do it on Sunday, so that also meant more time in that as well. But yeah, I mean, this is the first immutable silicon free will AGI kin born on Kaspa. Looking very, very cool, brother. I'll give it a look in a moment. This thing needs to go away. Can I refresh the page? But anyways, where was I? Yes. Yeah, so right now we're looking at, yes, Kaspa, more updates, that stuff as well. So actually I wanted to talk about this thing here I saw from Dr. Martin Heidberg. which is talk about the evolving landscape of crypto VC investment. Ultimately, the part that I find important and interesting here is the fact that we are seeing, again, confirmation of a significant shift in the crypto landscape. The traditional 2 to 3 year crypto venture capital investment cycle has shifted. Typically see VCs investing into these altcoins in the bear, cashing out at the peak of the bull, making significant gains, multiple multipliers in such a short time frame. But we are now seeing this shift quite significantly right now, with top tier crypto VCs remaining in a state of drawdown, with portfolio performance either underwater or flat. We're seeing liquidity pools are increasingly unimpressed with returns and failed token rebounds. So ultimately right now, this post from Dr. Martin Hardberg that I'll post in my free Discord server later on, highlighting that these VCs are now highlighting more an extended return horizon, where investors should anticipate a 6 to 7 year time frame before realizing significant returns, as opposed to the quick 2 to 3 year that we're used to seeing. So this for me is highlighting that altcoins are taking a longer time to take off, which is interesting. But at the same time that, I mean, it's still going to take off, but there's now a longer term strategy for altcoins, which is actually, in my mind, a good thing, signifying more maturity in this market. Instead of it just being a quick pump and dump, get rich quick crypto scheme that's always deemed to be, is now turning into a fully fledged financial asset class, with the big money starting to take a more leisurely approach, a long-term structure to investing into these crypto assets, as altcoins as well, the evolving landscape as well. And Kaspa, of course, we know fundamentally Kaspa's a long-term play, with smart contracts still not out yet, but hopefully coming out very, very soon. We know that the ZK EVM for Kaspa is coming out. Kaspa Doors highlighted that it'll be coming out, before Q3. And as we're now approaching the end of May, it will likely be it will be still in Q2, but it will be June next month. And one thing I've been seeing circulating a lot right now is this repost here from Chris Kang, where Casplex made a post on September 5th this month regarding the KRC20, and Chris Kang has now reposted this with eyes, highlighting therefore that we are going to see this month probably the release of the public testnet for the layer 2 of Casplex, I'd like to imagine. Now, whether that means therefore we're going to see it this week, because we're only a week away from the end of the month, or whether we see it this month being next month, either way we are seemingly very, very close to seeing smart contracts, which will be a very, very big thing for Kaspa, and that will likely incentivize these other tier ones to change their business strategy, as Kaspa will therefore see more adoption likely. Not immediately, but I like to believe it won't be as slow as people think. And then we'll see these tier ones and these other, market makers adding more adoption, more availability to Kaspa on other exchanges, therefore higher price targets as well. And in continuation, we've got here from the KEF again. Also, KEF, of course, working kind of the reason for Casplex as well. And there's showcasing again more development stuff happening as well. They've now announced the relaunch of their capitalfoundation.org, which is a new version of the official website for the KEF. And the website is a transparent and accessible window into the mission, values, and ongoing work across the Binance ecosystem, where you can find a clear overview of our initiatives, from research grants to event sponsorship and ecosystem partnerships, a record of what we've already done to support Kaspa's growth, simple open channel in getting in touch, whether you're building, researching, or exploring collaboration, and yes, a section about Kaspa itself, the reason that we exist, and the star at the center of it all. Now, Johnny just state here that the news and events section still needs a bit updating here, but the most important parts here are still available. For categories like research and developments, where you can see the names like Hans Moog here. You got Elliot as well, who's one of them, Fresh Air, and equally Shy, who are the key research developers people. You've got the projects, 10 BPS visualizers by courtesy of Web3, Casper Door, and so on and so forth. Community incentives and so on and so forth. Discord one such for Binance mining pool and that sort of stuff. So again, you're seeing more expansion, developments, while seemingly small and insignificant. These are all about trying to make onboarding and access to information easier, which is, for the newer community coming through, it's going to be very, very important. They need to understand as well what Kaspa is and what the KF is in correlation. The old KF website was not too bad, but this one does seem to be a lot better. You can see a lot more in regard to what's happening here. Yeah, a lot more better understanding about what's happening as well. It's a lot easier to understand as well that the KF, they aren't a central part of Kaspa. They're simply supporting the research, development, and adoption that drive Kaspa's long-term success. They are simply an initiative for Kaspa. They're nothing more than that. But either way, it's very good to see. You can easily talk about the KF here, about Kaspa, getting involved, project, all this sort of stuff as well. You can see the contributions here. So all this sort of stuff I think is very important. And you can see again, these are the key projects the KF have supported. Casplex, of course, releasing their layer 2 very soon. Smart contracts. Caspay, courtesy of Kaspador, and equally Kas Keeper, which I have actually never used, but it is there. It's there. And we are seeing even more major updates. We're seeing currently an acceleration kind of in preparation for smart contracts coming out right now. Kaspa Finance here. A major update for Kaspa Finance. Swapping plus liquidity tools fully tested. We're gearing up to launch on public testnet very soon. So we're again now seeing an acceleration of, these platforms, these projects who are working on these dev nets, whatever, saying that we are gearing up now for these test nets, which again should be coming out in this month according to Chris Kang here. Dr. Martin Harsberg is obviously a very, very bullish Kaspa maxi, if you will. And he's been very quiet about Kaspa for a while, but he's now been very active about talking about them again, which is interesting. Comedic time, if you ask me. And he makes a long post here about the state of Kaspa, about what it is, what it's got coming to it, all the big stuff that makes it so significant, and why, Kaspa is so ahead of the game, ahead of time in regards to the crypto space. In summary of this whole post here, he just talked about how Kaspa is evolving beyond just its high-speed payment network, because now actively developing later solutions, or you've got later solutions coming with the likes of Casplex, Sparkle, Igra, and much more that's going to help Kaspa, expand and actually take charge in this space. The fact it's going to have smart contract functionality and dApps support, while still remaining secure, scalable, and decentralized, equally very important thanks to Kaspa 10 BPS. So Kaspa's had some of the biggest developments to date in the crypto space that have gone under the radar because they have got the adoption coming out. But again, that seems to be on the horizon with everything that's about to be coming out. Listings again, already prepared and more seemingly on the horizon. We haven't got a date yet, unfortunately, and that's the biggest frustration, leaving herself in limbo. But they are close. They are ready, evenly as well. So it's not a matter of if, once more, it's a matter of when. We're going to see some big things coming out this month for Kaspa. And one thing that I think is very, very, I love to see us from Shy here. For me, is a big indicator for where I see Kaspa in the future, which is Blockchain Banter highlights here and asks here, if the entire blockchain industry decides to adopt Kaspa as a layer 1 sequencer for their technology, will Kaspa be ready to handle all the traffic simultaneously? And Shy says yes. Even right now, Kaspa could handle it all. And it's going to only be able to do more than that with Dagnut, with 100 BPS, and much more coming from that part as well. So yeah, I mean, things are looking very, very good. I'll be playing these macro parts out in a short moment as well. Trump media plans to buy $3 billion to buy Bitcoin and crypto, according to Financial Times. We already covered this part here, but from the landscape, we've got these two interviews here from Fidelity and the CNBC interview here, where they're talking about the game-changing shift we're going to see with Bitcoin and crypto very, very shortly as well, which I'll get to, but let me get to the questions real quickly firstly as well. Red Pit, we are good this cycle, fam. I don't believe so. I still think we've got a lot more time ahead of us. Provided we get no recession confirmations or war, I think we're fine. When Binance, still not confirmation yet QQ, but it should not be too long now. Again, Wolfie confirmed that OKX and Binance are ready. They're just waiting to do it when, their business strategy aligns with it. What's up, brother? Hey, Fast Crypto, where is the key chat? And are Kaspa making a pattern? Can you check? I mean, right now, Kaspa's just going through a corrective period following Bitcoin. Again, if you look at it, I'm still very much seeing a lot of Bitcoin dominance right now. So, again, crypto and Kaspa just following in suit right now. Casper right now is still in a bullish uptrend, still forming higher highs and higher lows. So I would not say that we're in a position of cause for concern right now. We're on a critical support level right now around this 10 cents, 10.3 cents zone. And I think we'll see, for me, worst case, Casper comes back down probably to 9.2 around here before they're making this rebound up here as well. But it depends again on Bitcoin and the macro. The 30th being on the Friday, the PCE data on the Friday is going to be very, very important to determine exactly how the markets are going to react in the short term and how the Fed, Jerome Powell, are going to, determine their monetary policies going forward. I'm just with the KF for sponsorship for the event. Oh, good news, brother. Keep it up, my man. What's your opinion on the emoji eyes for the tweets for smart contracts? I think it's just Chris Kang highlighting that we're going to see the release of their public testnet and therefore smart contracts coming out this month. I think it's just a little hint more than anything else out, because again, that was regarding the KYC 20 way back, and now Chris Kang's done it. Put the eyes here. I think it's just highlighting again that the Casplex public testnet and full release should be coming out this month, alongside the smart contracts as well. Now, obviously, this month, us being in May should therefore mean this week, because we still got, 7 days left till the end of the month. So maybe it means this week, or maybe it's just preemptive for saying in June. But either way, it'll be very close now. Banks like Wells Fargo, JP Morgan, Chase will on-ramp their stablecoins and run them on Casper. I think in due time, yes, we will see all the major banks start running onto a crypto. And I think, again, there's a good possibility that Casper could become this, sequencer for the entire blockchain industry in the future, because of their significant technology infrastructure, their speed being a big factor, but also the fact that decentralized as well, and open source making it accessible to everybody as well, which is a big deal. Big deal. So before I get into some more questions or anything else, let's get into some of these interviews here. This first one here I think is very, very important, which highlights here from a Fidelity analyst here. He's predicting that Bitcoin's acceleration phase is underway, with supply shocks fueling significant price surges. Listen very closely here to this interview.
And as you can see from this chart, there's been a lot of price changes since 2009. If we look at the y-axis on the left, prices moved from like under $1 over 10 years ago to now around $100,000. One major takeaway that I would call out is that historically, the acceleration phases that you see in this chart are correlated with the 6 to 12 months that we get post a Bitcoin halving. And this is typically when supply gets squeezed and there's a bit of a supply shock, and we typically witness a upward trend in price.
Okay, so that's a lot of change in not a very...
So yeah, again, that is institutional analysts who are, once more looking at historical data and believing that we are on the cusp of seeing a massive acceleration phase in Bitcoin and therefore in crypto. Now, I do agree. I mean, again, these people are paid. The video is insanely low. Unfortunately, I don't think I can turn it up. It was max volume. Oh no, it was not. I tell a lie. Let me play it again, then I apologize. Sorry, Mr. Miles. Sorry.
A long amount of time.
And as you can see from this chart, there's been a lot of price changes since 2009. If we look at the y-axis on the left, prices moved from like under $1 over 10 years ago to now around $100,000. One major takeaway that I would call out is that historically, the acceleration phases that you see in this chart are correlated with the 6 to 12 months that we get post a Bitcoin halving. And this is typically when supply gets squeezed and there's a bit of a supply shock, and we typically witness a upward trend in price.
Okay, so that's a lot of change in...
Well, hopefully that's better for you now. But yeah, as you've now actually heard, Fidelity, one of the leading FIs right behind BlackRock right now for like issuing and scooping up ETFs, Bitcoin ETFs. Their analysts, people who are paid to kind of analyze the markets, are highlighting that we are underway of the Bitcoin acceleration phase, and we're going to start seeing the next significant rally very, very shortly. Now, of course, I do agree. I think that is very much evident. But at the same time, I think that we are in a significantly different market where, of course, analyzing historical data is also very important and always will help you devise your own zones, your strategies and whatnot. But one thing that I think a lot of people are just simply constantly overlooking right now is that the cycle is fundamentally very, very different. Every cycle is different, of course, but this cycle in particular has been very different because of the significant rally we saw early on, the institutional adoption that's coming through and coming through in earnest, more so now with this. I'll play in a moment as well. So I think, yes, we are going to see an acceleration very, very soon, again, following the M2 money supply, but how high it will go, again, is still to be determined, and we can't always just look at history now to determine where the cycle's going to go. We can also start looking towards the future and make predictions based off that as well, which is harder, but necessary. So listen very close to this interview as well, talk about how stablecoins will shake up finance and how it could potentially free up $7 trillion around the globe, if not more so.
The inventory. I'm curious where you land on stablecoins, because it feels like that is the next sort of place this all. I'm curious where you land on stablecoins, because it feels like that is the next sort of place this all moves.
Well, so I'm a big fan of stable coins. I think that you'll lower the cost of transactions globally, and you'll help the unbanked, Andrew, with the advent and the proliferation of stable coins. I also think it helps dollar supremacy, because if you look at these stablecoin companies, whether it's Circle or Tether, or you pick other stablecoin companies that are growing, in their reserves, they own a lot of U.S. dollar-denominated assets, specifically U.S. Treasury. I think Tether, I think it was reported that they own more treasuries than Germany or Japan in terms of the inventory of treasuries on their balance sheet. So to me, the legislation is going to allow us to increase that. I think that's better for the dollar, but I also think at some point, you'll come to the Hunt and Fish Club, you'll pay with a stable coin, and you'll avoid the 3.5% credit card fee. And I think that's sorely overdue. I mean, there's approximately $7 trillion of money that's spent globally on verification of transactions, which includes credit card fees, wiring fees, all these different things that we're using. And if you can cut that down using stable coins, using the blockchain, I think we should be doing that. And I will applaud the administration for wanting to advance that. The last administration, they were making specious arguments about why we shouldn't advance that. And so I do give the administration credit for wanting to make this technology stick here in the United States to enable the United States to maintain its mantle of financial services leadership.
Stablecoins are one of the most important instruments for crypto, for finance in general. Seeing a massive evolution from the system we have right now, from cash to digital to crypto. It is such a big deal. And that's once more what we highlighted in the past, that there have been Harvard research papers and documents from JP Morgan and many, many more highlighting the race going on to dominate stablecoins. Deloitte, KPMG, all talk about the very same thing. We're going to see many platforms launch stablecoins, or try to. Many platforms trying to be the hub for stablecoins. Right now, the leaders are Tron and Ethereum. Both are centralized, both are slow, both are expensive, both are not capable. Kaspa has got connections to USDT Tether, USDC Circle, and many, many more. They have not launched seemingly just yet, despite having the opcodes available, which is very concerning, or surprising, I'd probably say. I would have figured at least seeing one or two smaller stablecoin issuers at least add themselves. But we did also hear confirmation that some of these stablecoin issuers, they are wanting to bridge to Kaspa. They're waiting for the ZK opcodes first, and then should everything go all according to plan, they'll then become native to Kaspa later on. Stablecoins are going to come to Kaspa, and Kaspa therefore could become this significant central hub for saving trillions of dollars in finance, seeing so much liquidity flowing through Casper, becoming this, centralized sequencer, the leading layer 1 sequencer for the entire blockchain industry because of their tech. Listings will come through, everything else will come through. You'll see more people building on Casper as well. Exciting projects, I'm hoping, as well. And Casper's adoption are going to soar more and more from there as well. We are once more at the mercy of lackluster price action, and it's very frustrating, but the plan hasn't changed. Nothing has changed. We're still in a very, very strong position right now for the crypto market. We're seeing a sort of a bleed or a lackluster move in altcoins, but that just means for me that when these other altcoins get their time to shine, which you still haven't got ETFs for anything besides Ethereum and Bitcoin right now. We've got Solana ETFs, XRP ETFs, Litecoin ETFs, HBAR ETFs, Suite. So many ETFs still yet to come out. You may see Casper, who knows. Those will allow altcoins to flow in more so as well. You'll see the Bitcoin maximalists who realize that Bitcoin, and they're all realizing that Bitcoin cannot be used for a peer-to-peer electronic currency and won't be utilized worldwide. They'll go to the next best thing, for them at least, which is Casper, which will be soon to be proven as the best thing. Casper is not the Bitcoin 2.0 per se. It's what Bitcoin was meant to be in the first place, which I guess you could say is Bitcoin 2.0, but it's not. It's just what Satoshi Nakamoto originally meant to envision for crypto, for Bitcoin. That's what Casper is. You're seeing it being achieved right now, the dilemma solving asset with Casper right now. And while I do see people saying that you cannot see anything without tier 1s, they are going to come through regardless. I think everyone is waiting for Casper to prove itself with smart contracts. Potentially. I think you see smart contracts as a buy the rumor, sell the news type thing, and then you'll see how they perform from that point onwards as well. What's up, Controlled Cause? I just joined and missed you talk about listings. Well, I'll get to that real quickly again for you then, brother. We got this post here from Wolfie, or reply from Wolfie and Captain Sats and Titan here, talking about how, tier 1s are still ignoring Casper, was very frustrating. And originally, the reason why they were ignoring it is because there was an issue or a complication with listing fees, being the big problem mainly for Binance as well. And Wolfie's confirmed that that was a problem, but not anymore. As Casper is completely integrated onto 2 tier 1s, being OKX and Binance. So Casper is already on OKX and Binance, which, again, Binance we definitely knew about. OKX we speculated, we didn't have confirmation of till now, but they haven't listed it yet because it doesn't simply match their business strategy to enable spot listing for Casper yet. When we still don't know, we aren't the exchanges, but I'd like to believe it'll probably come with better price, better market sentiment, and more volume for Casper, which is going to be coming through in the next couple of months, likely, with smart contracts as well. So, I mean, they've been teasing it for a while, but again, it's not it's only a matter of time. And equally got this one here from Johnny, who stated regarding to the market maker that Casper had, which I think is DWF Labs, they are still existing, they are still about, and they're now preparing listings for Casper as well, new trading pairs on some regulated exchanges as well, which is also very, very big. So, it is a matter of time, again, these systems will come through. And with tier 1s and everything else, Casper, I think, is, again, on that cusp for a very big rally. Smart contracts will allow many more developers to build on Casper as well, which is very, very exciting. What's the limit for Casper? There's no limit. I think everyone is just waiting for QT to end and QE to money printing. I don't think so. Yes and no. And I say yes and no because, again, right now, the sentiment behind the Fed to start, easing the monetary policies and to start printing money and cutting rates is going smaller and smaller right now. It's less and less likely right now because of the whole bonds going parabolic right now, going completely out of whack. The economy across the globe is not stable. So they're going to have to start trying to, step in to stabilize that, which will just be a big complication. So we'll have to see how the Fed behave. But again, first off, to remind you that in 2017 cycle when Trump was first in power, we didn't have rate cuts back then, and that was a very, very booming market back here. And equally, if you look at the M2 money supply, that is without the US cutting rates, and we're already seeing, how much, the money supply, how much higher Bitcoin should be in theory going. How, accurately it tends to follow the M2 money supply here. So we should start seeing, therefore, even without the Fed cutting rates, Bitcoin and crypto start to rally, therefore. Of course, that'd be very helpful, but I think people are more so waiting. I actually covered an institutional document in my VIP group earlier, which again, if you want to find out more, I posted it in there already. Links down below in the description, also my homepage as well. Amongst everything else in there. We covered a document there which highlighted from one of the leading fintech, crypto, and FI bridges company, banking institutions, Signum, who highlighted that right now the worst has been priced in. While we did see negative consequences from tariffs announcements from Trump, the worst has been priced in. They believe that we're currently just one significant monumental move away from seeing the next significant rally for crypto. That might be QE, that might be stablecoin regulations. I think it is stablecoin regulations. I think we are very, very close to seeing that, and that will be a big, big move for crypto. And again, the M2 suggests we'll start seeing it rally up higher this month anyways as well, so out of time. We moon yet? Not yet, but in due time, brother. Without tier 1 listings, caps are going to continue to struggle in price. Regular people mostly have access to Coinbase or Binance, just common sense. You're right, but again, they are ready. When they're going to list, we don't know, but for me, if they're ready and have been ready for over a year now, they are going to likely list in this cycle. Tier 1 exchanges are waiting for a particular price point for listing. I mean, also possible as well. I mean, what they're waiting for, we don't know. The KEF suggested volume, so actual momentum in crypto. Some believe it's price, which again, Wallet 2, believed to be Binance. Their average of Kaspa's around here. So maybe we go above here, and they'll be net positive. Maybe they list Kaspa then. Maybe. But we'll have to wait and see. Leading on stables to stop the US continue to fall off its perch. I mean, yes. But again, yes, but it's kind of the necessary thing they need to do right now. The dollar is losing its value, and the way for the dollar to continue being the world reserve currency effectively is to start utilizing stablecoins. It's a smart thing for them to do. It's a necessary thing for them. They need to do it. It's necessary for them. Do you think tier 1s can make lots of profit where do you think tier 1s can make a lot of profit whether 11 cents, 20 cents or higher, just like other exchanges, plus the tier 1's listings, every Trump coin around at minuscule prices? Well, no, because again, it's different. Tier 1s typically are always think about Binance listings, they are always buy the rumor, sell the news, every single time. Binance are probably aware every time they list something, it goes down straight away. So when you're paid to list a project, you don't care if it goes down. When you've had to buy it yourself, you don't want your investment to go badly. You want it to do well, so they want to list it when the price is in a good momentum to where it won't, if Kaspa's doing, a bullish rally but kind of lackluster, they don't want to list it to cause a little extra boost and then it to come down massively. They want it to be going parabolic, list it to go even more parabolic, and if it comes back, it'll only be a small back before going back up again. And then listing every Trump coin because they are paying for the listings. They should be using Uphold anyways. Both of them are garb. I mean, yeah, truth be told, again, the Coinbase and Binance they are the biggest exchanges, but Uphold, I would argue, also is better than those two as well. I mean, I like Kraken as well, actually. I think Kraken's also perfectly fine. And I argue using, apart from Kraken not having stablecoin pairs, so actually Uphold therefore is better. If Kraken has stablecoin pairs, I'd use Kraken a lot more than I already do. Stables can replace that. I mean, true. The USD used to be propped up by something called the petrodollar, true, when Saudi Arabia was forced other countries to convert their currencies to USD to buy their oil. Those are over. Yeah, exactly. The petrodollar was similar to what the KI wants to do with the gigawatt stablecoin, but of energy, yeah, pretty much. Kraken is also a good exchange for buying. Yeah, true. It's only problem is that Kraken haven't got a stablecoin pair. It's only USD, which is a bit jarring, but they are good as well. But yeah, that being said, I think that will be it for today's Kaspa and Crypto Live, covering pretty much all the source today. I found this quite funny, just as a final point here as well. Shy highlighting that someone described in a YouTube comment as a face only a mother can love. for Shy here. And his immediate innate response was, "I'm not even mad, that's brilliant." And he's like, "Yeah, your mother." I actually do think Shy's hilarious sometimes. I know it's sounding in my voice, but I mean, Shy is opinionated, but he's very knowledgeable, and I think he's a good laugh as well. And I'm glad to have him, as well as every other developer that was working for Kaspa, help to raise this project to the next level. And we'll see the fruits of our labour, come to fruition, bear fruits very soon. All the big updates are coming out now. Posted information in my free Discord server. You go check that out down below in the description. Also homepage here as well. Equally, will be even more involved in this space, maximizing the benefits of crypto, from trading, from alpha information, institutional documents, and so much more. Educational videos and whatnot. Then check out the VIP group, 7-day free trial as well. Down below in the description. Also homepage here as well. Check out what we're talking about in the community, when it's going to happen, and ultimately why our conviction does not waver for a moment. The only way they can get Kaspa is by investing in it, and when they distribute it, they are selling it. They do not want to sell it at a loss. Yeah, exactly. That's precisely why these tier ones, they will list rubbish coins because they're being painful, but they won't do it for Kaspa. They want Kaspa to go up in value. Many others have turned on Kaspa, tier ones or not. There are big investors who are waiting. I've actually been seeing more and more big content creators while talking about Kaspa recently as well. So evidently Kaspa's starting to generate some more eyes again, which is, again, reassuring. When all season, bro, I'm tired. In due time, John Doe. Again, Bitcoin dominance is so high right now that it probably won't be for a bit. What am I typing in? Remember, again, if you think about Solana, for example, Solana didn't pump till August. Bitcoin dominance fell off in May, and then Solana pumped here. So you had, May, June, July, August. You had 3 months where Solana didn't even move yet properly. So you might have to see altcoin dominance fall off, and we might have to wait a month or two until we see altcoin properly start running again. So it'll be in due time as well. I've seen a lot of new content creators talk about Kaspa too. Well, that's not surprising as well, jumping on the bandwagon before it takes off. But of course, we have been here since the very, very beginning. And I need to get back to making more videos on Kaspa as well before my spot gets taken. That being said, have a great day, evening, good night, people. If you enjoyed, leave a like, share with your friends, and subscribe for more. Check out the socials down below in the description and homepage. If you want to, have a place to trade with some extra benefits, some extra rewards, of course, do your own research about it. But you can check out BYDFI. You can see the watermark in the bottom left as well. There's also an incentive right now, where if you were to join to BYDFI through my referral link down in the description, and you deposit, you could end up receiving an extra bonus as well, as you can see right here. So if you want to find out more, go check that out down below in the description. And yeah, have a great day, evening, good night, people, and I will see you all in